Good morning, friends. Today we have a short introduction to the meaning and scope of cultural studies. Culture studies is an economic discipline that was first begun in Birmingham Center for Contemporary Cultural Studies in Great Britain, and the work of critics like Raymond Williams, Richard Hogarth, and later by Stuart Hall, Tony Bennett, and others. It's a discipline between the disciplines. Culture studies is interested in the processes by which the power relations between and within the groups of human beings organize cultural artifacts such as food habits, music, cinema, sports events, and celebrity culture, and so many other artifacts and their meanings. The word culture comes from the word cultura or culeri, which means to cultivate. It also means to grow, to honor, to protect. By the end of the 19th century in Europe, it gained the meaning of habits, customs, and states of upper classes, also called elite culture. The meaning of culture in culture studies is its mode of generating meanings and ideas. This mode is a negotiation over which the meanings are valid, meanings are governed by the power relations. Elite culture controls the meanings because it controls the terms of debate. Non elite views on life and art were totally rejected as tasteless and useless, or even stupid by the elite class. Certain components of culture get ever visibility and significance. Culture studies looks at the popular culture and everyday life. It's the culture of the masses. It's a graffiti, comic strips, books, mass media as opposed to the art culture, popular music as opposed to the classical music, the open space of city as opposed to the art of galleries, is the culture of the everyday life of the larger number of people. For a long time, these were dismissed as inferior. The term mass culture was used pejoratively. Only true culture is the culture of the elite members of the high class in the society. This was taken to be a fact by the elite. The culture of the wealthy minority section of the population was projected as standard culture or true culture, and culture of marginalized or pushed to the corner. So the academic study out of the great works of art or classical authors, ignoring the fact that the great number of people never viewed these art forms or read these classical authors, standards of judgment and ideas of taste were framed using these elite forms as examples. Certain authors, forms, and genres were respectability as culture. This is the very term culture came to be associated with a smaller fraction of the people also and the taste. What this means is the upper classes in society in England or in India legitimize certain artifacts as culture. Some objects like M.F. Hussein's paintings, writings of Tagore, and plays of William Shakespeare, etc. Most critics did take interest and discuss the works, but did not discuss the works of Sidney Sheldon and Manmohan Desai as art, relegating them to the relevance of popular culture. In 1950s and 60s, a change in the focus came about in the study of culture studies and cultural analysis. Uh, the scholars started taking popular culture seriously. The Journal of Popular Culture was launched in 1969 by the Department of Popular Culture at Bowling Green University, USA. The journal carried essays on Spider-Man, rock music, amusement parks, the detective film, and other forms of pop culture. It is in popular culture studies that cultural studies finds its first moments. Culture studies argues that culture is about the meanings a community or society generates. This process is not easy as those in power always seeks to control the meanings. Reading Shakespeare or George Eliot is fine, but how can you be addicted to Mills and Agatha Christie? This is all communities quarrel over the meanings. Culture studies argues that the objects and artifacts are to be used, made use of, by the masses must also be taken seriously. Such forms as comic strips, Dennis Menace, the cartoons of Canarian are made by the people of themselves, as Raymond Williams pointed out in 1983. Popular culture is for culture studies the set of beliefs, values, practices that are widely shared by the majority of the people. Thanking you.